Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here. Today we are talking about character creation and character models. Now the original models we saw way back on our characters that were running around, the whole entire model, not just the head, the animations and the heads are all sort of placeholders, and we're still waiting on the final version. There is some updated information. Now in the background you will see some character heads that have been worked on at the moment. I must say the character heads look absolutely incredible. All the games that I've played in the past, this is probably one of the most detailed and amazing looking character heads. So what do we know so far? There'll be 18 different heads you can actually pick from and be split between male and female, and later on there'll be many more coming into the game, but obviously it takes a bit of a time to scan them in. So far they've scanned 150 heads in total. Majority of them are clearly the actors. What you can do to personalize your character is swap out individual components, if you want to call it that, like mouth, eyes, forehead, ears, you get the idea. And you can swap them out from different heads to make up one head, and it will blend the skin in as well, so it won't look like you've just stuck different parts of the body on one face. It will look right. And secondly to that, you can then pick the colors as well. So this would be hair color, eyes color, skin color, you get the idea. So there's a lot you can actually change. Later on down the line, I've no doubt that they will add more heads for us to pick from, and this technology is in quite infant stages at the moment. Now although we can see the heads at the moment, they haven't actually completed the hair yet, so what you're seeing in the video in the background is not the correct hair. In most cases they don't have any hair. Creating hair in a game that looks realistic is no easy feat. I've seen a couple of games in the past that have done a fairly good job of it. I'm holding out to see what Star Citizen do from the hair point of view, because the way the hair moves, you get the idea, it adds a lot of weight and immersion to the game if they get this really right. There'll be a wide variety of hairstyles that you can pick as well to personalize your character. We're still yet to see the actual hair that's going to be in the game. I think they're still working on the hair shaders, so we could probably expect to see that later on. Now with these amazing models, you would expect to see some massive decrease in performance if there was loads of people standing in one shot. It looks like they've managed to get it down to quite an acceptable amount where it won't have a massive hit on CPU and GPU performance. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out later on in the game. Now keep in mind, the way that the models work at the moment, the layering system works inside of Star Citizen. If you've got let's say for instance you've got your face and you put a helmet on and you can only see a small part of your face, the game won't render in your hair. So it doesn't take a massive hit if you think of it that way. It only renders the top layer that's physically visible. Good way to do it because it prevents the secondary layer clipping through the top layer. So like hair poking through your helmet, maybe a secondary part of your clothing poking through the outer part of the clothing. So it's an easy way to do it, and also it adds a massive increase in performance as well because you're only ever rendering that outer layer. If you've got a group of people standing there and they've all got helmets on, then I don't think the hit would be as high as you probably would have thought. Probably most of the time you probably will be wearing a helmet anyway if you're working on a ship, just in case something bad happens. Now quite a while ago in one of the 10 for the Chairmans, and this is quite a while ago, they did talk about possibly giving us the ability to scan our own faces so we could put them in the game. In practice, if they let us do that, it's probably not going to work out too well because you're then dependent over the quality of someone else's camera, and that will then go into the game and probably more than likely break immersion because yeah, you can imagine the quality wouldn't look good, and I don't think they're going to go down that angle now. What they did do quite a while ago to get all these heads in the first place, they created a small event where you could go into Star Citizen and people had their faces scanned and they gave them a little gift. Now later on in the game, can we expect to see special backers or maybe YouTuber celebrities in the game? That's a high possibility. I don't think they're discarding that. It's not a hard thing for them to do. Now they have tiered the heads into different tiers. The tiers go from 0 to 3, 0 being the high quality, 3 being the lower quality. This doesn't affect the outside textures between the tiers. It's more about the movement and detail in the face. I looked at the models, the tier 0, the ones, I couldn't really see a massive difference. I think it's going to be more on the lines of facial expressions, making it more unique for that character. That are more likely to be the difference. I'll put some in the video there, see if you can see the difference and let me know in the comments. Now, as well as the facial aspect of the game, obviously we have body types as well. We have male and female. The female's not in the game as yet. Now the actual models themselves, you will be able to vary them to some extent, but you won't be creating a character that looks like something out of Ark's Survival. It's going to be more realistic. You can increase the height and also decrease the height, and also you can make them put on weight or lose weight, whatever your preference is. But there will be limits on that because obviously a lot of the ships, all the ships pretty much, have got a maximum height or minimum height to actually fly the ship, because your eye level needs to be able to look over the dash. And then also you don't want your head clipping through the ceiling. So they don't really want to be going around making different seats for different types of people in the game. So an easy way to do that, set a maximum, set a minimum for height, weight, and so on. That way then they can have one type of seat and then it works for everyone. One thing that I would definitely like to see, some sort of lip syncing, so when you actually talk over VoIP, TeamSpeak, whatever you're talking over, that in-game your lips move as you talk. I think that would be pretty cool. It's a very difficult thing to do. I know some games have done it to quite a basic level. I would like to see that inside of Star Citizen, but otherwise, what's the point of having amazing detail lips and teeth and all that on our characters when we can't actually see them moving? So that's something I think would be really, really cool to see as well, particularly if you look at someone, you can see them actually talking to you at the same time. So that's pretty much everything on the character models and also the heads, guys. Let me know in the comments if there's something you think that I've missed, or maybe something that you would like to see on the character models. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.